My name's Alyssa. I'm from Canada, but I'm living in Korea with my husband. And here's our walkthrough on how we went from a 영어 공부방, an English study room, to 영어 Hagwon, an English language Hagwon, or academy. So this is also a life update. At the same time, people can now see the fun things that we went through last year in 2021. I believe it was starting in September for the renovations, but we did start looking at places in August. Now, two things you want to know when you're going to open any type of academy, whether it's an English one, a math one, music one, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to do, you have to decide how many students do you want. Do you want to hire a lot of other teachers? Do you want to just have a small staff? How big should your space be? You're going to go around your area. You're also going to want to make sure you pick an area that doesn't have your kind of Hagwon or doesn't have very many of them, because then you have less competition. And that's good for you, because then you will have more clientele and they're more likely going to stay. So for this video, I went from the first walkthrough of the location all the way to the ending when you'll see the final results at the very end of the video. So now, back to what I was saying. Once you've decided how many students you want to be able to take on, how much staff you want, and how big you want your space, then you go start looking at other places. Definitely look at places that are bigger than what you want. Look at places that are smaller than what you want, because maybe amongst them you'll still find something that you think that this is going to be great for you. You have to also remember, how much is it going to cost to do the renovations? Because there's two different types of renovations that you'll have to do. You'll have to do the one where you build the walls, and then you have to do design as well. The design, not so hard. It's actually easy to do. As long as you have an idea in your head, you're good to go. Building the walls, though, that's the least fun part, because it is not cheap here in Korea to do it. I'm sure it's not cheap in other places either. For us, we were really lucky, and the facility that we ended up renting out was previously owned by, it was a math Hagwon and an AI English Hagwon. So they already had the walls, the classrooms, everything was set up, all the electricians, things were done as well, so we saved a ton of money that part. It did cost us about $5,000 because we did take down two walls to open up more of a lobby area. Because when we walk into the facility at first, it's just a hallway. It's not very welcoming. So we decided we're just going to take down a couple of walls and open it up. Also because we wanted to put a library or mini library in the lobby area. So once we got through what we want to do we want to take down walls? Which walls we want to take down? And argue about it a little bit and see whose plan was the best plan. Then we went to work on finding also all the people that you just need to work with you. I never knew how many people you need to contact and how many people you actually need to employ to get a facility like this off the ground. I really thought that it was going to be simple. Then again, I thought opening a study room in my home was going to be simple. But my husband was so kind, and he didn't include me in every aspect of that, so it looked simple to me. But for this one, he made sure I was in every single aspect of it so that I would have no misunderstanding or naivety about how difficult it is to open a Hagwon. So we had to go get AC people because work with children. We're on the 5th floor. It's going to get hot. You cannot have children studying or in a facility without an AC. So then we had to decide on what kind of AC do we want. Do we want those little wall mount ones you just stick on the wall and plug them in? Or do we want a centralized AC system? At first, we really fought over this, not us ourselves, but with our in-laws and people giving us advice, because we are looking for every way we can to penny pinch, because this was not a cheap endeavor. However, my in-laws convinced us that centralized AC, however expensive it is now, later it will be totally worth it. I I do admit now, after the fact, I really like the centralized AC where you just press a button and you can turn on the AC and it's coming down from the ceiling. That's the one we got. But when we looked at the cost of it, I did not enjoy that one. The one that we ended up getting with the different units for each room that we got costed about $21,000. And that's including the labor, the putting in of the ACs, and just having all the things shipped to us. I think I had a mini heart attack when they were like, yeah, it's $21,000. And I was like, cool, it's almost my student loan. So then we went from there, getting the AC guy, getting the design guy. Definitely recommend that if you know someone who has already used an interior design person and they have high, they just really like the person and they had a lot of high praise for them, go with that guy. Do not go with somebody random. Definitely go with somebody that you can have people tell you that they're a good person and that they'll give you the, bang for your buck, basically. The one we went to, he did an okay job. Not going to complain about it, how he did or anything. It was okay. It wasn't as good as we had hoped for. We did feel like we paid more for it than what we actually got out of it. So in the future, we're definitely going to go with recommendations when we do go back to doing design and things, because we're still planning on knocking down another wall. We're still planning on either expanding or moving into a new facility in the future. Also, if you don't have anybody around you who has done a Hagwon or done interior and designs like that, then if you have a sign guy. So if you have the sign guy, the guy that does all the signs and stuff, and he's been really good to you over the years, ask him. More than likely, he'll have a recommendation for you. A lot of these people are interconnected. So if you've got one good guy who does one good thing for you, he probably has somebody else in mind that does just as good as him. So we actually ended up with 2 sign guys for this one because the interior and renovation guy came with his own sign guy. So we went with him for the indoor stuff, but then we went to our original one for the really big outdoor ones, and he did the most amazing job. So our sign guy does an absolutely great job. He'll come and bring you samples in person rather than just sending you a message, which a lot of other ones will send you just a message of it. He'll also send you the message of when it's completely done, but if you want to do samples of colors, he'll just bring it right to you so you can pick out exactly what you want. This is actually one of his crew members here, just prepping for the sign to go up onto the building, because not only did he do the outer sign that's attached to the building, there's that one that pops out to the side so that you can see it at a different angle. You'll see it later in the video and understand what I'm talking about. So overall, it was a really good experience to do this. I just had a lot of stress with it, especially when we went to the education center for the 4th time. Super fun. Lots of paperwork you have to do there. You have to make sure you have cross your T's and dotted your I's for everything. Also, you need to make sure you have enough lecture space in the facility to register as a Hagwon. The downside to that is you cannot ask the education center to come before you sign the papers to rent out the facility. You have to sign it, you have to pay for it, and then they come in and then they'll tell you whether you've successfully got enough lecture space and you can now run your business, or oops, you just rented it for no reason. That's always really fun. Other than that, you can enjoy the rest of the video and watch us as we go through the fun steps of bringing together a language Hagwon. And at the very end, you will see what everything turned out to look like. And since we opened up in October, we have Halloween decorations up for the end of the video. Please enjoy, like, subscribe, and all that jazz.